Hi, this is a quick video to help you get started with Canvas conferences. First, log into your Canvas course and choose the course. To enable conferences, go to the left-hand menu, click on Settings, then go to the third tab that says Navigation, and scroll down to the bottom menu, find Conferences, and pull it up somewhere in your top menu. Then scroll to the bottom and click Save, and that should enable it. Some of you might already have conferences enabled. That's great. So then once you have conferences, you can create a conference by selecting New Conference. You can name it, I like to name it the date that I'm holding class and the time. But you can name it whatever you want. You can even put the title of the class in there to help them just kind of remind themselves. And then I'll usually put, for a 2-hour class, 120 or 135. And then I like to enable recording so I can record it if I'd like. You can invite all course members, or you can choose specific members if you wanted to just meet with one student for a writing conference or something. You could do that. And then you just click update. And you'll see that your conference is here, and you can just click start. It will ask you to enable your audio. And so you can choose to join by microphone, by listening, or by using your phone. As a presenter, you want to choose microphone. And then if you hear an echo, choose yes. That means that it's working. So then once you're in, you'll be able to see on the left, you'll see it says public chat. If you click on it, the chat will disappear. If you click on it again, it appears. And you could send a quick message. This would go to all of your students. If you wanted to send a message to a student, I'm going to pretend that I'm a student and join this meeting so that I can see what's going on from the student side as well. And they also have to choose to join by microphone or audio. I'm going to choose just listen only and then mute it so it doesn't give me an echo. And then to the left, you'll be able to see me as the student and me as the presenter. So me as the presenter, you can see is kind of going blue, and then the microphone function is enabled. So you can tell that that person is talking and they're presenting. If I wanted to send a message to another student in the class, I could send a message to them, or I could have them click take presenter, and then they could also give presentations. Usually when you click on the student, it will say send private chat. But I can't do that here since it's both me. But usually you're able to do that. But if I wanted to take presenter, I could become the presenter. Okay, so I'll go back to my other one, and you'll see shared notes. So there's a place for you to include some notes here, or other students could write notes, and that's fine. You can make it disappear by clicking on it again. In the center, you'll notice the whiteboard, and this is where you can write on it if you want to click on. They give you 6 whiteboard slides, and you could just click on slide 2. And then on the left, it gives you a menu of tools. I have a hand to select, or I could use a pencil to draw something. I could choose the size, and I could choose also the color of what I wanted to draw. And then if I really didn't like that, I could click maybe the undo annotation, or I could delete or clear all annotations, delete, clicking on the garbage there. There's also some shape functions, so you could draw a shape. And there's a text box function, so if you wanted to write something, you could do that in the text box. To zoom in, I use my mouse and I scroll in, or I can scroll out. And I can also, under here, use the multi-whiteboard user function. So if I wanted them to answer some questions, maybe I wanted Chloe to answer number 1, and then Jonathan to answer number 2, and then Harriet could answer number 3, and so on and so forth. I could click on this whiteboard function, and then they would be able to write their answers next to, what I've said. So they could choose their color and say, the answer is yes or no, or they could also use the text box function. But you can see my name here, and you'll also be able to see their names, like who is participating, who is not participating. So you can use the whiteboard. Also, down here, it has actions. You could start a poll, so you could ask them a question. It's kind of tricky that you can't actually write the question, but you can write the answers. You could create a yes no question, true false, an ABCD question, or you could do a custom one where you're saying, hey, how are you guys feeling today? And you could say, I'm awake, I'm asleep, I'm in between. But you might have to write that information on the whiteboard and say, how are you feeling? So that's a little bit clunky, but it still keeps people engaged to ask them a question every now and again. And then I click Start Custom Poll, and then it will publish the results here. So as a student, in the bottom, it will say, the polling options. I'm awake, I'm asleep, and I'm in between. And it appears in the bottom right-hand corner. So they could say, yeah, I'm so engaged, I'm awake. And then on your side, you would see those results. You don't see necessarily who said what here, but you do below. So then it kind of shows you that way. And that's just kind of a fun way to engage the class. You can also include a YouTube video by clicking share an external video. So we'll look up Disney song with lyrics, and let's add a Little Mermaid song really quick because that's my kind of go-to. So it has to be a supported video type. Whoops. So I made a mistake that I'm glad I did because now I can tell you about it. When you have the text box enabled, it won't let you select things. So that's something that's a little clunky about conferences, but it's okay. So what you would have to do is it says I'm in this box, and so I'm only in this box. So what you would have to do is just reselect the hand. So it does that when you're using any other function. So if you just make sure to select the hand again. So if you're doing breakout rooms, it does that too. So I'm going to put that video back in my video bar, and I'm going to click share new video. And what it will do is it will just share it with everybody so they can listen and they can kind of sing along. I like to do that at the beginning of class just so that they can kind of check their audio, and it gives me a chance to kind of prepare for class. And so I'll throw in a video with lyrics and some music so they can, learn some English lyrics. And then the other thing you can do is you can upload a presentation. And this takes a few minutes. So you just browse your files to find a presentation. And I'll find a PowerPoint really quick that I can just throw in there. And so you'll see it's to be uploaded. And because my internet's a little slow, it does take a few minutes. So usually what I'll do is, at the beginning of class, try and upload it or throw in a video so that I could be uploading it. You also have to click the upload button, which I forgot to do, but it happens. So if you don't see it saying uploading, you forgot to click the upload button. And then after uploading, it should then confirm the slides or something. It will tell us what it's going to do, but converting files. So then it will tell you each PowerPoint slide that it's converting. And as each slide converts, then it will just kind of upload into that presentation. And this one went relatively fast. And since I still have that YouTube video in, what I can do is click stop sharing external video, and then that YouTube will go away, but then they'll see my PowerPoint. And I'm going to get rid of this poll by just clicking on the poll so it will disappear for a second. And I'm just going to check the public chat to make sure anybody has any questions or something. So you can move through the slides by clicking next slide. You can also go back a slide. And then you can also choose to go to a specific slide in your presentation by just clicking on that little arrow there. And that's one way that you can do just move through the PowerPoints. So I'm going to try and find one where I would use, so the multi-whiteboard. So for example, these particular questions that I'm looking at are, they have errors. And so this would be a good one for grammar where I'd share the whiteboard and say, okay, underline any errors that you see. And then you would see students underlining them and saying, the speaker talks about a maple tree. So you could have them underline them, or you could have them fix it directly in the PowerPoint. And that's a nice feature about conferences. So the last feature that I want to show you is the breakout rooms. And to access these, you have to click on this little wheel that says Manage Users, and you can throw them into breakout rooms. And so I'm going to click. So my options are mute all users except presenter, save usernames, lock viewers, create breakout rooms, write closed captions. And so I'm going to click on create breakout rooms, and it's going to give me the option to say, how many rooms do I want? Do I want 8 rooms? Or do I want 2 rooms? And how long do I want it? So I'm going to set it for 1 minute. And then I could click randomly assign, and it would randomly assign the users. Or I could click a user and then drag them and drop them into the room. And that's fine too. I find it is a little clunky if I mix random assign and drag and drop. Sometimes I have to redo that, but usually it works. So I'll either just drag and drop or randomly assign. But go ahead and click create, and then you'll see a new menu item here that is breakout rooms. And you can click on that, and then you can click join room if you want to kind of eavesdrop on it. So what the students see is that their screen is going to just say join room, and then they have to click join room to get into the room. And then they have to also enable their microphones. I'm not going to do that, so there's no echo. But you'll see that the slide went with them into the room. So you could send that slide with them to the room, and they could work on it, and you could kind of see what they're saying. So maybe you're going to see somebody saying, I don't know. Or you're not going to see them doing anything, right? The other thing is that whoever is the presenter in the room will be able to write on the slide. So you'll have to teach them as presenters to be able to click on this multi-whiteboard function so that they can share the slides with others if you want them to do that. Or you could assign leaders, and everybody kind of tells them what to do and say, yeah, underline those problems. So coming back to the teacher point of view, oh, I only set it for 1 minute. Let me do one more. So it ended the breakout room. Let's do 1 more minute. 115 minutes. All right. And then let me click create. I'm going to join that room so that you can see what it looks like. And then as a teacher, I could click join room and see someone else's room. And I can enable my audio to kind of listen and see what's going on, or I can talk to them, or just not enable it at all and just kind of see what have they done. And that's fine. And you'll see at the top here, it tells you how much time they have left. So they have 40 seconds. And if you think that's too much time, you could just come back to your breakout room function and say end all breakout rooms. And then that would just end it for them. You'll notice that you'll have to re-enable your audio each time you end a breakout room because they might have been talking, but maybe, they want to just listen now. And so that gives them that option. And then I would just check back with them, see how they're doing. As a presenter at the bottom, I have that option to join audio. So if I wanted to change how my audio is functioning, I just click on that phone and it gives me that option again. I can enable my webcam here, and then I can also share my screen here. When it says share screen, you can share your entire screen, an application window, or a Chrome tab. If you share your entire screen, you have to click on the image in the center and then click share in order to have that work. And then it would share your screen, and you would see that it says you're sharing your screen. And then you would click stop sharing. If I don't actually change the screen to something else, it will kind of go into this weird repeat cycle. But I'm going to go ahead and click stop sharing. And then it says screen share has ended. So that is just a super fast tutorial for conferences. If you guys have questions or if you want to practice with me, let me know and I'm happy to help. So thank you for participating in this tutorial.